I'm sorry to take so long, guys, but everyone knows I like kids better than people.
How are you, baby?
How are you, baby? I want to stay. Can I stay? I don't want to go. Kids used to come up and reach in and pull and rub my leg down. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap. Can I get a phone number for you and I can tell you what I used to do? It's going to change, honey. I promise you.
A week or two ago, it looked like Marjorie Greene was attempting to gain an air of respectability, to normalize herself. She's not one of the crazies anymore. You can work with her. And then she went on 60 Minutes and declared that Biden is a pedophile and the Democrats are a party of pedophiles. It was an appearance on 60 Minutes that never should have happened, but regrettably it did. And she decided to double down on it with that video that we just showed you and tweeting, "I'll say it again, Democrats are the party of pedophiles." And the evidence that she provided was this old campaign ad of Joe Biden interacting with kids and a filter to make it look like they were taking a picture of what was already a video. So I don't understand thematically what they're doing there. Those are literally just interactions he had with kids. The final one, by the way, was him talking with Braden. You might remember Braden. Let's go to this picture. He had this interaction with a kid who apparently had a stutter. And so Biden, who has dealt with stuttering, talked to him about the bullying they have both faced. And what he says in that video, "I know about bullies, you know about bullies, the kids who make fun. It's going to change, honey, I promise you." That's the audio that you just heard at the end of that video, that Marjorie Greene believes is evidence that Biden and all Democrats are pedophiles. It was the president consoling a little boy who had been bullied over his stuttering. She is the grossest person that has ever been just foisted onto the American public. This is now a thing you have to deal with. This creature, this troglodyte, now is a thing that you have to worry about on a daily basis. Like, we have had stupid representatives, we have had hateful representatives, we have had corrupt representatives. I don't know that we have ever had anyone as singularly disgusting as Marjorie Greene. But feel free to disagree, Dan. What do you think?
I find the entire Iraq war entirely very disgusting, but like this like behavior, I get what you're saying. This
I mean behaviorally, yes.
Yeah, behavior.
They're bigger criminals.
Yeah, of course. I definitely are in agreement there. I think what I want to spin this as is Marjorie Taylor Greene spends a lot of her political career not even doing politics. Like, I wonder what economic proposals or things that would help large communities in her constituency that she's not paying attention to because she does all this Trump simping and groomer talk. But she is defending actual pedophiles. She is defending people who are actually coming for kids. I just did minor journalism. I did a Google search, right? Because this isn't meant to be about Marjorie Taylor Greene's stance on Joe Biden when she's talking about the Democratic Party, which she's really putting it into this whole trans panic of gotta watch out for these teachers and these LGBTQ plus folks because they're coming for your kids. Quick Google search. Florida attorney, male, says gender, 53, arrested for having child images on his computer. Here's it. We have an ex-bachelorette contestant, 27-year-old, says gender, bachelorette contestant. So like it's a show where he's like dating other women. Possession of 15 pieces of child pornography. I'm just going down this list here. People who are being arrested for child sexual abuse, they are cisgender people. A lot of times men, women here too, but it's men. If you want to talk about this issue, if you want to talk about protecting kids, don't point or like talk to the people who are trying to make kids' lives better, whether they're going through stuttering or whether they're coming to terms with their identity. No, if you really care about this stuff, do a Google search after you take John's advice and think about English and start straightening that. Do a Google search and look at all the straights. And let's look at their party preference and let's see what kind of abuse they're doing that Marjorie Taylor Greene, a liar, phony, and total shill for the Republican Party, is covering for. That's the framing that we need to have on this because it is asinine the way that Marjorie Taylor Greene picks on trans people who are such a small percentage of the population for doing such an egregious crime that mostly cis people do.
Yeah,
absolutely insane.
Was it 4 days ago? GOP strategist Anton Lazaro convicted of teen sex trafficking. Like, if this stuff was routinely coming up for Democrats. Well, I would say that you'd never hear them, never hear the end of them talking about it, but they talk about the Democrats being pedophiles in the absence of all of this, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Meanwhile, so what they use as evidence of Joe Biden is that he hugs kids and he's kind of an awkward old guy sometimes. Can you imagine if Joe Biden routinely talked about, let's say, his daughter like this? You know who's one of the great beauties of the world, according to everybody? And I helped create her, Ivanka. My daughter, Ivanka. She's 6 feet tall. She's got the best body. He also agreed with Howard Stern on that appearance that she was, quote, a piece of ass. He later said, I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her, which means that's a thing that he has thought about. In 2013, Wendy Williams had Ivanka and Donald on and asked what they have in common. Ivanka responded, real estate and golf, but Trump said, well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that. And yet he tried. By the way, he went on in an interview with Rolling Stone. Yeah, Ivanka's really something, and what a beauty that one. He then made a "if I weren't her father" comment that trailed off. Can you imagine if Joe Biden had said these things? Can you imagine if you could put together a little photo collage like this of Joe Biden routinely hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein? Can you imagine any of these things? But no. He consoled a boy who stuttered, thus I guess it's all even. Not even. She has no problem with any of this stuff that Donald Trump has routinely said about his own daughter, let alone the accusations that have come at him in a number of different ways, including busting into changing rooms of girls competing in his pageants, including girls as young as 14. None of that bothers her in the slightest. It's not even worth a comment.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.